Hey everybody, welcome back to JS Fishing Adventures. I know it's been a while since I made a video, but today we're gonna make a two-part series. One of them's we're gonna make some jig heads, some underspins, put those together, and then the second part we're gonna make a mold to go with those underspins, and I'll show you what I do, what I like to do, and the whole process on making your own jig heads and baits. Okay, so we got our mold right here, and it's an underspin mold, herring head underspin. And it recommends you using a Gamakatsu hook style 640 hooks, but I think they're just a little too bulky, and I come to find out you can actually use an Eagle Claw 635 jig hook. Now I'm using a 3/0 size, so that works out really good for me. So we'll get one of these out, and we'll just put it right here. Now, you always want to smoke your mold, is what they call it. A lot of people use candles. I just use a tiki torch lamp. Just light it up. It gives off enough soot. So we'll just smoke it real quick. Put it out. Does a fairly good job. As you can see, it's all black. And the only reason why you do that is so when you melt the lead that it doesn't stick. So I am going to do a 1/4 ounce or a 1/4 ounce, which would be this guy right here. So we'll lay that one in. And then for the underspin little hook part, this is a Doit Molds wire form, WEY 525. There's 100 pack in here, so we'll just put this one just like this. And then we clamp it together, and there you go. Now I'll turn on the lead pot and I'll get right back to you. Okay, so we're back, and we're just gonna load this up. Doesn't take very much. Now I'm gonna make a few, so I don't have to redo this again. So, and every time you work with lead, just be very careful. It is very hot. And I know it's dripping. I haven't cleaned it for a while, so that's another thing to consider. Okay, now I'll unplug it, turn it off. Of course, I'll put the lid back. It may drip for a little bit. That's okay. Okay, so this is what we have. And then I'll take off the sprue. And there's our unfinished underspin. I'll take these other screws off. Just put them back in the lead pot. I got a little sanding disc here. Just like to clean it up a little bit. Doesn't take much to get the lead off where the sprue was. Just clean it up a little bit. You could use a file or sandpaper. I just got a little sanding disc board I have. That's good on that one. Just to get that burr off and make it a little smoother so when it goes through the water it doesn't create as much drag. That's good enough for that one. You can do this with a file too, if you have a file. That's good enough for that one. So on to step 2. We are gonna use some of this Protec. I'm gonna use some chartreuse, and we'll go through that in a second. Alright, so now we got our hooks. I use just a clamp, forceps, whatever you want to call it. I use a heat gun to heat them up. Then I'll just dip it in this. I don't have a fluid bed. I've been thinking of making one, but I haven't got around to it. So we'll just do what we can right now. Alright, so I got a little piece of like a paper clip here, straightened out. You'll need one of these if you're going to do this. And then what you do is we'll turn it on high. This gets a little noisy, so I'm sorry. And what you want to do is you want to make sure you get through that light bulb. You want to make sure you get through that eyelet. And just get the rest of the stuff off. Usually I would bake this, but since this is just a short tutorial, I'm gonna do it in a hurry. And then there you go, pretty much your jig head. I'll do the other ones later. And then I'll get back. Okay, how I attach the blade to it. I use a willow blade, just a small one. And then I'm using ball bearing Eagle Claw size 1. Now my willow blade, I don't know if you can see that. It's about, let's say about 1 1/4. I just use a small one. Works really well. So I don't even cut the end off. I like to keep the little swivel part like that just in case I want to change blades. So what I'll do is I'll take a pair of pliers and I'll get all the powder coat off of that. And then this has a little split ring, I just attach it like that. Now for this you gotta clamp it down so it doesn't go anywhere. So you just squeeze the two open ends together. Not very hard, just so it's shut enough that that was a fail. Didn't squeeze it down hard enough. Let's try this again. Squeeze it together with a pair of pliers. That time it's not coming off. Then we'll attach our willow blade to this part. And there you have it. You've got an underspin. And that will conclude it for this segment. I'll do another segment and we'll make some colors, some plastisol, mix them up in a mold. And I hope this helps somebody out there. And till next time, see ya.